I have two kind of unrelated questions, if that's okay. I don't know if this is true, but you can tell me. I've heard that we could eliminate all other spending except for Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, and we would still not have a balanced budget. Is that true? Okay. Ooh, you put a microphone in front of me. Everybody in my age group that I know of, under 40, and most people that I am friends with, under 45, we've all pretty much accepted the reality that there will be no Social Security by the time we would be of age. So I get real frustrated. My mother is about to retire and will be taking Social Security. I understand that, I get all that there are people who depend on it. I get a little frustrated that so few of our elected officials have the courage to speak the truth when so many of us who are of the age that will never collect it. I mean, it's a joke. We're not going to have Social Security. You look at your check and you're like, yeah, well, that's money I will never see again. So what can we do to get to the point where we have the courage to address the fact and speak the truth, which is there will be a point where people do not get Social Security, and it's probably going to be my generation. That's my first question. My second question is, I'm just really curious on your thoughts on the Super Congress.
Okay. Let me show you, if I could, something on Social Security. I've got some slides here. I'm going to get the Social Security slides. Okay. Do you mind if I answer this with a few slides? Okay.
Go ahead.
This is less than half of people polled believe that Medicare and Social Security costs are a major source of problem for the federal government. Okay? These are just some. Here is the issue with defense and discretionary versus what we call mandatory spending. You can freeze or even cut defense and keep it around a certain amount. That's discretionary. It's renewed every year through the appropriations process. Autopilot spending is the spending that is not renewed every year. It's automatic. Why is it automatic? It's mandatory. It's in the law. What is that? Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and interest on the debt primarily. That is mandatory spending. Why do we always talk about mandatory spending? Because first of all, it happens whether we approve it or not. It's in the law. If you are a certain age or whatever, you get it. Okay? Now, in 1970, you can see that 40% of our budget was this mandatory spending. Now, it's 60%. In 2040, it will eat up almost the entire budget, which means all those agencies and infrastructure and all the stuff that folks, education, all that, just keeps getting squeezed and squeezed. Now, you may ask yourself, well, why is it growing like that? That's what makes it different than the discretionary. You can freeze the discretionary, you can even cut it, you can raise it a little bit, whatever. You do it every year. This is unique spending because it is on autopilot. And it is going off a cliff on autopilot unless we change the law.